How do you know when a nation passes the point where salvation is possible for a people?
Probably the biggest question that everybody is asking today is what is happening to America and how did we get here? The insanity that we're witnessing here before our eyes in our society and our culture is just proof of Romans 1 and exactly what happens when God turns them over.
We can also worship sex. We can also worship money. We can also worship our intellect. There is no end to it. We're incapable of producing idols like nobody's business. And that idolatry is revealed in immorality. It's important you understand that. Why is America in the mess it's in? Because we worship Baals. Because we don't worship the true and living God. Super Baal Sunday is an amazing illustration of what really turns America on.
As we just heard Alastair Begg just explain to us exactly the problem in America is idolatry. And especially his illustration of the Super Bowl and what a heinous act during that Super Bowl halftime show just played out right before our eyes, just pure demonic, pure satanic. This is what is happening to America. Why are we being judged? Is because we become a nation of idolaters.
This is no game. You want revival and awakening, but know this. For the most part, great awakenings have come only preceding great national catastrophes or the persecution of the church. I believe God is bringing a great awakening, but I believe that He is raising up young men who are strong in trust in the providence of God to be able to wade through the hell that's going to break loose on us. And it will be on us before we even recognize it, unless in God's providence He is not done. He is not done. Now note, this is not silly talk. Apart from a great awakening, these things are going to come upon you. Be ready to lose your homes, your cars, and everything.
Just as Paul Washer just told us, we are going to be facing some very hard times here in the future, and especially on this route that we're on as a nation. As God pours out His judgment upon our nation, it's going to get harder for all of us. Just because we're believers doesn't mean that we're not going to feel any persecution, and especially here in America, we've been so coddled and spoiled that any little sign of discomfort, we think that is severe persecution. But as Paul just mentioned, it's going to get worse.
Too late for 8th century Israel. Too late for 1st century Israel. But it can be too late for every nation. Acts 14, God says He allows all the nations to go their own way. How do you know when a nation passes the point where salvation is possible for a people? Well, Romans 1, we've talked about it. Romans 1, wrath, God gave them over to sexual immorality. God gave them over to homosexuality. God gave them over to a reprobate mind, a non-functioning mind. So when you see a nation deep in sexual sin, pervasively affirming of homosexuality, and the insanity of a reprobate mind, where they make laws to criminalize righteousness and to legalize gross evil, you know that nation's under judgment.